in a battle ignited by undisputed ambition.
This is history. On the 19th of July, we're going to see history.
Oleksandr Usyk, still unbeaten. He wears the crown after the Gypsy King was dethroned in the Ring of Fire.
The undisputed heavyweight champion.
Now, a new threat to Usyk's reign. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, with a burning desire to follow in the footsteps of greatness. Back on home soil, Wembley Stadium, where he claimed his finest victory. The new champion now seeks revenge. There's history, controversy, and unfinished business.
Oh, he's got low. I've been cheated out of the shot.
The stage is set. Who will prevail and emerge king of the heavyweight division?
The magnificent Wembley Stadium is the setting for a night of history in London. For the first time ever, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world will be fought for on...
The Zone is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over! There's no way back from this, surely!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means. Are you not entertained?
I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win! Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time, a night to remember.
following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now! Let's go. How do you like it? On the show. So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this. With a corner knockdown. Still the undisputed champion of the world. Fight night, only on DAZN.
14 months ago, Oleksandr Usyk became the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis did it back in 1999. Lewis is still the only man from these shores to achieve that feat. But that could all change tonight when Daniel Dubois makes this iconic walk at Wembley with the aim of dethroning a modern great. Welcome to Undisputed.
Two champions collide in a battle ignited by undisputed ambition.
This is history. On the 19th of July, we're going to see history.
Oleksandr Usyk, still unbeaten. He wears the crown after the Gypsy King was dethroned in the Ring of Fire.
The undisputed heavyweight champion.
Now, a new threat to Usyk's reign. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, with a burning desire to follow in the footsteps of greatness. Back on home soil, Wembley Stadium, where he claimed his finest victory. The new champion now seeks revenge. There's history, controversy, and unfinished business.
Oh, he's done low. I've been cheated out for sure.
The stage is set. Who will prevail and emerge king of the heavyweight division?
The magnificent Wembley Stadium is a setting for a night of history here in London. For the first time ever, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world will be fought for on British soil. It promises to be another unmissable event. We're going to get the night started with 2 free-to-air fights for you. Then the fights will move to pay-per-view. Make sure you purchase that now at DAZN.com/boxing. And with that, a very warm welcome to our host position tonight. I am Kate Scott with former 2-division world champ Carl Frampton. Good to have you with us. Later on, we're also going to be joined by the only Briton to ever reign supreme at heavyweight. Yes, Lennox Lewis is going to be in the stadium with us. He'll be with us for all of the main card fights. This is a shot of the big man arriving just a bit earlier on, though. Undisputed privileges, Carl. You get to arrive a bit later. Yeah. That's how it goes. Must be nice. But the big man will be with us after the first 2 fights. He's going to join us. As you can see, not full yet because it is still very early in the day, but it's going to be full. 90,000 are going to be here to watch this rematch between Dubois and Usyk. I love these big stadium fights. I think everybody does. For a fighter, it has to be a once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, the stadium fights weren't really a thing up until maybe AJ started doing it. I know there was fighters before that, but it just seemed to be the norm now. But you always get excited when there's one at the home of football in Wembley, and we've seen some huge nights here recently. And if Daniel Dubois can pull this one off tonight, it's going to be one of the best nights in British boxing history. Yeah, it's going to be huge. If we think back to the first fight between the two of them, which was in Poland back in 2023, I think Daniel Dubois went into that one as an underdog, given a puncher's chance maybe, but there were periods of that fight where he was doing well. Yeah, he done okay in the fight, I think. I think there's things that he could do better, and one thing that people are talking about in the lead up to this fight is Daniel's run of form. It's been incredible. His last 3 fights, he's I think been an underdog in each one of them and done the business and done what he's had to do. Certainly he's a better fighter now than he was the first time they fought. Is that going to be enough for him to beat Usyk? I'm still not 100% sure. Obviously, one of the big talking points coming out of this first fight was the fact that Daniel chose to stay down. He took a knee and remained down. What were your honest thoughts when you saw that at the time? I don't like to see it, if I'm being honest. And I'm someone who can be sometimes a little bit critical of fighters who remain on the knee. And that was a conscious decision from Daniel. He decided that he didn't want to get up and he stayed there. So there is issues, but I think that he's ticked a few boxes since, particularly in the Hrgovic fight, where he he must have been hit with 30 clean right hands. The Miller fight, there was times in that fight where Daniel could have kind of given up, but I mean, I think there's a change in his mentality, certainly.
So any questions about Hart for you have been answered by that recent run of form?
I think so, but there'll still be some doubts maybe, because the last man that he stayed on his knee was the guy he's fighting tonight.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, we are going to talk more about the low blow that you saw, and that obviously that was a big talking point from that first fight as well. We'll talk about it in a bit more detail later on when Lennox is with us. First, though, here's a reminder of what's coming up for you this evening on the free-to-air portion of our broadcast. We're going to begin with a super lightweight contest between Lasha Guruli and James Francis. We're going to stay at 140 for our second fight. Prince Nassim's undefeated son, Adam Hamid, making his 6th pro outing against Ezekiel Gregores. The main card kicks off with a heavyweight showdown. Vladislav Serenko facing Solomon Dakers. And our first title fight of the night sees Daniel Lappin and Lewis Edmondson clash for the IBF Intercontinental, WBO and WBA International light heavyweight straps. In the co-main, interesting one, Lawrence Okoli and Kevin Lorena go head-to-head fighting for the WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship. And then it's the main event for all the marbles at heavyweight, the rematch for undisputed between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Both men have had a busy week this week. Here's a look at how the story unfolded.
When you grow up in London, you see those Wembley arches way before you ever step inside. We know what happened when Daniel Dubois was here last time, but this time he's not just fighting for a belt, he's fighting to cement himself in the history book.
I'm going to be the man. I'm a young lion and I've just got to execute him.
Where is Daniel? Usyk's a bit of a genius. I think he works them all out.
Ukrainian.
And people keep talking about Daniel's run of form. They're not talking about Usyk, Fury, Daniel, AJ. It's not bad.
It's a great opportunity for my people and my country.
I'm going to win by any means necessary.
This is like a Super Bowl, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. It means that you're the best fighter on the planet. The whole world should be watching this fight.
Well, Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois are going to be making their ring walks just before about 10 p.m. local time here in the UK. Making his ring walk right now, likes to make an entrance, Ade Oladipo.
Can you blame me, Kate? Can you blame me? This is Wembley Stadium. This is the National Stadium as well. The doors have just opened, as you probably see behind me, by the way. The fans have already started to make their way into the stadium. 90,000 expected to pack their way into this place. This is the walk the fighters will make, as you mentioned, Kate. You probably see behind me the tunnel there. This is the walk that Daniel Dubois made September last year. And how he defended that IBF heavyweight title fight against Anthony Joshua. It's that win that puts him in position to challenge Oleksandr Usyk for all the marbles, as they say in the heavyweight division. It's been an incredible 18 months, I think it's fair to say, for Daniel Dubois, but it's been an incredible 10 years for Oleksandr Usyk. That is the task in front of Daniel Dubois. Can he beat the man that dominated the cruiserweight division? Can he beat the man they nicknamed the Brit Basher that has dominated the heavyweight division? Who knows? A lot of people are swinging to the Brit, but it is a big, big task. They will make their way up these steps, and it's daunting. I'm happy I'm not fighting, Kate, because it does feel quite nervous. But two men that have made that walk and have been successful in winning world title fights join me now. Darren Barker, hello, sir. Barry Jones, hey. Hello, sir, as well. This is already starting to fill up, and this is just the early portion of the card. This is going to be incredible in about 3-4 hours.
It's going to be horrendous. It's going to be the song's going to just be crazy. You know what it's like once people get invested in the fight. So just before those ring walk, the crowd get really up. All the other fights are great, but they're all here for the main fight. And then when that first noise makes that first start of the music for the first ring walk, all these guys here will go crazy.
Hopefully you are listening to my little nonsense
Very
there.
good.
I was walking. It was okay. But one thing I think that was important of what I just said was Daniel Dubois had a great 18 months. Oleksandr Usyk's had a great 10 years. I mean, that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, Cole said it in the studio. Daniel Dubois was underdog in his last 3 wins. So he'll take a lot of confidence away from that. We've been saying how good he looks physically, but mentally he's in great shape, and that's so important. But he's in there with a master. But the master is 38 years old. The master is ages. How long can a master keep coming out with these tricks and this magic? That is the big question today. It's youth versus experience versus class versus just magic, as I say. It's a brilliant, brilliant rematch.
we talk about his age quite a lot, but you look at that pound-for-pound rankings, Terence Crawford's 38, Dimitri Bivol's 36, Artur Beterbiev's 40, Canelo's 35, 36. I mean, age nowadays doesn't really restrict these fighters as much as it used to.
It's because they train better, live smarter, eat better. You know, also I think there's more longevity in boxing. Let's talk about, we say age over experience, and that's sort of right. But for 27 years of age, Dubois has some experience already, and good and bad.
Yeah.
He's been a world champion, he's boxed some really good fighters, and also he's been at the lowest of the low and come back from that. So he has a wealth of experience going into this fight also.
Okay, more from these two later. We are going to do keys to victory. You're going to love this because we've got a little ring on the stage just to give you guys a bit of insight to all the tricks we put up for you guys today. All right, that's us three. There is another special man as well. Let's say hello to Tom Davis, who's got so many VIP people around him later on. Tom.
Yes, absolutely buzzing to be making my DAZN debut as part of the broadcast team. Big night for me, massive night for this guy, Daniel Dubois. Can he get it done against arguably the GOAT and Oleksandr Usyk here at Wembley tonight? So many celebrities joining us, including this man, Al Foreign. How are you? You've been here for all the fight week. How's it been?
Tom, it's been unbelievable. We've been covering the fight week with Ush TV, and it's just the hype is out of this world. 90,000 people in that stadium tonight to witness history, the undisputed heavyweight championship on the line. Huge.
Massive. And we're going to be joined, of course, nothing brings out A-list and celebrities like a heavyweight clash like this. Tyson Fury's going to be joining us.
I am 100%, I will be here, and I'll be keeping a keen eye on that main event. And I'll tell you what, Robert, I'm coming for you, Usyk. That's what I want. And John, my dad, will be there too. I'll tell you what, Tyson will be there, and I'll be there, and we'll be all backing my son, Tommy, as well. Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be fantastic. Should be brilliant. Really going to be fantastic. Mike Tyson as well, Tom, you know. It's not heavyweight boxing without Mike Tyson. I'm the personification of it, you know. And we got Chris Eubank too.
Yes. Tom, I am very much looking forward to this fight. Obviously, I gave DAZN one of the most memorable moments in their boxing history by reuniting with my son back in April. And hopefully we get something tonight. Katie Taylor's here too.
Yeah, Tom, have to say it's a really big fight and I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, you know, Usyk has been undisputed twice already. I'm undisputed too, so we have a lot in common. So yeah, fair play to them. And I suppose we'll bring in the main man, Usyk.
Tom, for me, tonight, if I am not Phil, Dubois will win. But Usyk, I'm always Phil. Always Phil. Daniel, where are you?
Thank you, Al. And don't forget, fight fans, you too can get involved. Head over to the DAZN app, head over to the fan zone, throw us your questions, make fight predictions. It's Usyk versus Dubois. It's Wembley. Let's go!
Man, that was phenomenal. Tom Davis is going to be with us all night long. So will Ade, Darren, and Barry. But it is now time to get these fights started. Let me send you over to the voice of boxing, Adam Smith.
Thank you very much, Kate. A very warm welcome to this stunning summer setting here at Wembley Stadium. You're looking at Lasha Gurulu on the right and James Francis on the left. And they have the opportunity to kickstart this massive night. Live on DAZN, doesn't it look magical? And it will be. Gurulu and Francis. A super lightweight contest over 6 rounds. Gurulu, a standout amateur. He's 28 now in fight number 2. One to very much watch out for the future. But Francis has got a real opportunity on the big stage. And he can fight. He really can. From Liverpool, he's been fighting all his life. Incredible story. 24 years of age. And opportunity knocks for these fighters tonight to really impress. Thomas Dreiber, great to have him with us as ever. Will kickstart the night.
Live worldwide on DAZN. Let's first welcome to the ring, James Two Dogs Francis.
What a moment. It's one of those traditional yet endearing stories in our marvelous sport. This young man came from numerous care homes in Huyton and Kirby. His dad was sent to jail. 11 brothers and sisters across different areas of Liverpool. James Francis has always been a fighter. And now, boxing professionally at Wembley Stadium. He's lapped up this week with his team. They've been taking pictures at every opportunity, like fans. But he's got a job to do here. He can't just be the kid in the sweet shop. He's got to get his career rolling. He's won 7. And this is the chance for us to find out more, and the world to see more about James Francis from Liverpool.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Lasha Guruli.
Big things expected for the former starry amateur Lasha Guruli. He's always been in combat sport through his life. He was the team captain for Georgia. Captured many shining medals over the years. A couple of silvers in the Europeans, bronzes in the Worlds. It culminated in bronze at the Paris Olympics. A lot of skills. He's 28 now, from the southeast city of Rustavi to our national stadium in London. Barry and Darren, good to have you sat next to me. And boxing takes us to different places, doesn't it? A Georgian here and a hero in Georgia, now in London.
Yeah, and he's a very good fighter, Adam. Really, really good. Not your typical sort of top-class amateur style, but he's got a style that works for him. He's definitely one to watch, but I'll tell you now, Francis is well and truly up for this contest. He knows what a win here will do for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a great night of World Championship Boxing from Wembley Stadium in London, England. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry with Ready to Fight, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, The Ring Magazine, GG Bet, Snoo, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. We get things started with 6 rounds scheduled in the super lightweight division. The timekeeper is Mark Shannon, and when the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Amy Pugh. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 137.12 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, he has a professional record of 7 wins, just 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is James Two Dogs Francis. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 139.15 pounds. Coming to us from Cabrelli in the country of Georgia, he had a stellar amateur career, becoming a 2024 Olympic bronze medalist, and now as a professional is undefeated with 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lasha Guruli.
Good to see Amy Pugh, our female referee here.
Listen to my instructions at all times. Watch your head, no low blows. When I say break, step back. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Interesting opener live on DAZN, and the chance to assess the excellent Georgian amateur Lasha Guruli as an early pro. He's in with the more experienced James Francis, who's trod a very different path, but really fancying his chances of causing a stir here. What a moment for the pair of them, Barry, on the biggest stage of the year.
Of all the places, this is where you want to shine the most, isn't it? This place here tonight. But it's about being smart as well for Francis. He's got to be the aggressor here, but also not walking on the silly shots against a really, really quality fighter in Guruli.
Guruli was match tough on his debut, in with the Ghanaian Bernard Abbey. Had to get off the floor to win. He carries his left hand low, a style based on reflexes and speed that saw him do ever so well in the unpaid ranks. But James Francis, he's a pocket rocket type from Liverpool. 1 defeat on his slate in his 8 outings. And well, it should work stylistically as he gets a right hand off, Darren.
Yeah, and that defeat, as you mentioned, to Stefan Vincent, it was movement that frustrated Francis. He couldn't deal with the elusive movement of Vincent. Guruli, though, in front of him, trying to hold the centre of the ring. Like I say, not your typical sort of top-class amateur style you're used to, but you can see he's got nice high guard, lively jab, quick hands, lots of variation. And what I've seen with him in the past, once he gets going, once he's hurt his opponent, he likes to get moving and really letting his shots go.
Right hand, and you can see the reach advantage he has in their jab and the speed of combination. Just catching Francis, who has got to be careful on his way in, but also needs to pressure the Guruli body and try and back him up and take him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, the thing with Francis, I understand what he's doing. He's sort of like, he's sitting on that back foot a little bit, trying to be a harder target, so Guruli's got to reach over to him. But when you're advancing that way, you've got to be really, really slick and clever. So he's better off getting his chest almost over that front knee and trying to slip and slide your way in. So when Guruli throws that jab, you can, if your weight's on the front knee, you can slide in a little bit more, and then the combinations go with a bit more effective aggression.
Yeah, you've got more chance of landing then, haven't you? When you're more poised to throw the shot when you're closer to the front foot as opposed to the back foot.
Because he's just on the right.
Exactly.
Just and for him, it's just the wrong distance, and for Guruli, it's the perfect distance for him. The long shots go with quite ease, you would say, at the minute.
Lovely work from Guruli, looking super sharp early on here against Francis. Really has ability, and yeah,
that's
sweet
lovely.
Combination.
The footwork, Adam, there, brilliant. 3 shots. He led with the right. When again, a really, really good glided into range there.
And a giveaway shot, the jab, he threw the jab to miss, didn't he? It was almost like a feint, pretty much, to let that right hand go and the straight left to follow.
I think he'll want Francis to come to him. And at the moment, he looks really in control here. Lasha Guruli. Good fighter. Sueli Punchavenitsi in the corner with Lasha Guruli. Very popular in Georgia. We remember Georgi Kandalaki, don't we, Darren?
Yeah, very good fighter he was, and Guruli demonstrating how good of a fighter he is in that opening round. You can see good variation, quick hands, varying up his attacks, leading with the right every now and again, and finishing with jabs. But the feet, very, very good. And as Barry said there, Francis needs to take a leaf out of Guruli and bring those feet a bit closer to the Georgian.
Looking so relaxed on that blue corner stool, the 28-year-old from Georgia, Lasha Guruli, in his 2nd fight, undefeated so far. Was really good in the amateur ranks. World bronze, European silver, but it's that medal in Paris that has launched his pro career, really, and he launches that right-hand Barry so snappily, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good operator. There's nothing massively flash, but everything correct. That's a lovely little left hook there. The angle of the left hook was lovely because it's almost hard to defend against. It comes up almost like a 40-degree angle.
He means business here, really does, Garuli. He wants to impress, he understands the opportunity here. In front of thousands, the UK's national stadium. You have to give credit to Garuli as well, and it shows the ambition from the Georgian, his debut against a 6-0 Ghanaian. And in with Francis here, 7-1, so I don't think they're going to hang around, Adam.
I think they're going to move him quickly. He is 28, and he's got this pedigree to work on. And as you can see, unpredictable. The jab's lovely. He finds angles, I think, that are troubling James Francis here, who was a good amateur, and he's been a solid pro so far. He admits he's more of a street fighter. He's rough and ready, and he's getting outboxed and outclassed at the moment.
He's been stopped from throwing shots here.
You know, what's good from Garuli here is his setup of the attack. So he does quite a lot of throwaway shots. You just see it there now and again. He just, you know, you throw that jab out not to land, but just to get him close for that uppercut through the middle, the left hook over the top. There's not a thought behind his work. And for Francis, he's got to come forward without be playing into Garuli's hands. But you just got to accelerate when you come forward, believe in yourself.
Sweet right hand from Garuli, a countering shot, and every time Francis comes forward, he's getting punished. And on the back foot, it's not a happy place either. These are two very, very good rounds from Lasha Garuli.
Yeah, he looks good, Adam, he really does. A little step out of range, look at that right uppercut, fantastic shot. He's under the cosh here, Francis.
He's had some success with that already, hasn't he, Garuli? But that was a lovely time shot. Again, just not rushing his work, but putting pressure on Francis, but finding the gaps and boxing really well. We see very economically very good. Very rarely misses with a shot here.
These right hands, and I think power's starting to get through as well. Top of the head shots are not what Francis needs. Who gets back with a springing right of his own. Garuli just concentrates on his own work. An uppercut, and there's a steely look to the way he's going about it, and a left hook sunk into the body too.
A menacing look, just stalking his man. Look at the blood from the nose of Francis. The jab, the uppercuts, look, with both hands. Really, really impressive stuff, this. Good right hand to finish the round as well. Really, really good opening too from Garuli.
Egis Klimas, Oleksandr Usyk's manager, looking on at Garuli. And this is why he wanted him on this sort of a stage.
Listen.
It's a super night ahead from the UK on DAZN. Usyk, Dubois, top of the bill, and then Jesse Bam Rodriguez, one of Barry's favourites, returns to action tonight. The WBC World Super Flyweight Champion, aiming to unify the division. He's in with the WBO belt holder, Fomele Cafu, in Texas. Eddie Hearn and the team there, and Frank Warren very much here tonight. The promoters split but unified on DAZN.
Corners, 10 seconds. Water. Do not stand in front of this.
Class.
He's boxing really well. Nice control. He's dominated everything, and it's a hard night so far here for Francis.
Yeah, what can the 24-year-old two dogs James Francis in those black and gold trunks do now? He's got to try and stop the rod here, take some chances. It's a risky.
You can ask him to do stuff that, no, really, you shouldn't ask him to do, and that he's got to come forward. But it's easy to say it, hard to do it, because you've got to walk on the punches. But where he is now, the distance he's fighting at now, is allowing Garuli loads of time to set up his attack. So you have got to try and smother that work.
That nose is busted as well. Look, you can see the blood on the chest, the arms of Francis, and you can tell the body language and the intent from Garuli. He does not want to go 6 rounds here. He wants to get the job done. He wants to look good, and he wants to move on.
Well, he is looking good, Darren, and that jab is really starting to penetrate through the guard of Francis. The nose might be broken, could affect breathing. Might not be an issue in a 6-rounder, but I tell you what, he's really getting battered and bruised here, Francis.
And he's just by dominating the first 2 rounds so conclusively. Now he's giving himself enough time here, because Francis is waiting to get hit. I know that sounds weird, but he sort of is. And it's a horrible place to be for any fighter, but Garuli's allowed the chance now just to try things out and set things up. And I think, you know, if he puts his foot on the gas here, he might very well get the stoppage.
Wayne and Carl Smith, the brothers, alongside us in the red corner from the Golden Gloves gym. They're very close to James Francis, and they will be keeping an eye on this. They're not going to want to see him suffer round after round. That jab, Darren, so crisp.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. I like the way that when he throws the shots, he's very relaxed, but he commits to the shot. He doesn't pour the shots out. He doesn't anticipate or worry about a shot coming back. He really throws it with real menace and meaning. You can see the damage it's done, and look at the fall, look at the concentration. He's right in front of us here, Garuli. Oh, right uppercut again.
Super shot from Garuli as Francis came in, and well, he's lighting up Wembley early, isn't he, here? Lasha Garuli, if you haven't seen him before, you'll remember him tonight.
Again, he has so much success with that right uppercut. The eye, looks like the eye's busted there to Francis. What's been good for Garuli is the jab. He's changed the jab. He's throwing from the hip, he's throwing from the shoulder, he's been fast with it, he's been heavy with it.
I think they're having a close look in that corner at the state already of James Francis. It'll be interesting in the inter-round to see what they say to him, because he really is on the end of heavy punishment here.
He's not winning this, Adam. You know, and you've got to have a look. His nose is busted and there's damage to the eye. Garuli's looking very dangerous. And look, you look at the record of Francis, only one stoppage from his 7 wins, so it's very unlikely he's going to get a knockout here.
It's a cracking story, James Francis, in life, and it's great that he's got here to Wembley tonight, but he is realising what it's like to be up in this sort of company against a world-class amateur who is performing in his second professional fight quite beautifully.
Okay, it's 3 rounds, but listen.
Yeah, very good from Garuli. Just mixing it up, having everything his own way. You've got to give Francis so much credit. He's hanging in there, he's shown a good chin. But it's survival mode for Francis. The Georgian desperate to get a stoppage here.
Sometimes you just come up against someone who's a level above you. I think that's what it's been for Francis here. A guy who's just, you know, got so much class, that amateur pedigree showing in the program, and he's dominated everything here. So it's on him now, really. If he wants to close the show, it's potentially he can do it, because Francis have not been able, or willing or able, I would say, to really throw anything back.
Yeah, James Francis, a decent novice. He's won his last 4. But, yeah, different company he's keeping tonight with this really classy-looking Lasha Garuli into the second half of this one. Had to go the full distance on his professional debut.
When we talk about dictating the pace and ring generalship, and that's what he's done. He's taken the centre of the ring. That jab usually dictates everything. If you've got a good jab, and he has a good jab. And also the distance, how you fight, where you fight your battles, and he's controlled that all throughout the contest so far.
He's done that so well, and I think the accuracy as well of Garuli is very good as well, because the hands are very high of Francis, and he's still managed to find the target. Sorry, Garuli, I meant to say.
You sounded like me then. You sounded like me.
He wants to go in, doesn't he, Francis? But he knows what's going to happen if he does. He's got bucket loads of courage. Through his life, he's shown that. But in this ring, there's one guy, Barry, that just looks a different level.
Yeah, sorry, I mean, maybe to try and dip it for that right hand over the top, but even the jab from Garuli, even when he throws it slow, the timing's good, so it comes back at a nice even pace. So it's going to be hard to even fire that right hand over the jab. You had to go forward, but then you're walking on the shot, so it's just one of those things where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Do you go forward and really go for it and get the chance to get knocked out, or do you just do what you're doing now and hope that he makes a mistake and you can fire off that?
On the flip side, Garuli, I want to see him go through the gears now. Look, he's working well, but go again now. 3-4 shots, go again. Tempo now, this is what will get the job done. Everything's been very good, just need to change the tempo, go through the gears.
Yeah, give Amy Pugh maybe a reason to call a halt to this at some stage if he can sort of double and triple up these combinations, these bursts that have been eye-catching, really, from Guruli since the opening bell.
But that's all they've been. They've been good, solid shots, but eye-catching shots. Nothing really heavy enough to think that Francis is going to look for the floor or really in trouble. He's just been totally outboxed here.
Body shot, good from Guruli. And that nose, again, bleeding profusely.
Remember, look, he would have gone in here ambitious, Francis, to win this fight, to get his arm raised at the end. But now, look, it's a story in itself, saying that, you know, you boxed at Wembley, you heard the final bell, you had to go, and you can see it now, he's surviving. Fair play to Francis.
He wasn't just ambitious, he was really, really up for this, fancying it all week, and there's another right hand from Guruli, and he just keeps walking into shots.
And Barry said it, that he's just in there with someone who's better than him. You know, it's about levels.
And he's making mistakes now, good coming out like that with your chin up. But that's a sign of just being a little bit lost in a fight. And I think that's where he is right now. But this guy, he's controlled everything. That's all you can ask for. You know, you want more power and, like you said, injection of pace to get the finish. But ultimately, he's just controlling it. And if you're doing it that way and it's working, why change?
Well, the action coming thick and fast. We were all at Ring 3, which was a brilliant night in New York last Saturday. Ring 4, the Night of Champions, on DAZN, November the 22nd. It's a great card again. Double main event. David Benavidez against Anthony Yarde, Devin Haney against Brian Norman, and many, many other fights on that. They were talking about Dalton Smith, weren't they? Getting his world title shot on that card.
I'm all for that.
It's a great card, though, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant card. That'd be a fantastic fight to be added to an already tremendous card.
Anthony Yarde taking another massive risk. He's fearless.
Sorry to interrupt, Barry, but they have called it off in the corner, and that is a sensible decision from Wayne and Carl Smith in James Francis's corner. Absolutely spot on. Their man had been outboxed, outclassed for 4 rounds. He wasn't going to win it. He played his part. He did the best he could. But Lasha Guruli, well, he looked world-class tonight. I know it's early days, but the skills are there.
Yeah, there's an awful lot to like about Guruli. Quick hands, good variation, the feet, the know-how, the ambition. There's power there. You can see the damage is done. Not the single shot, you'd say, but the accumulation over time. Very, very good fighter and a good prospect added to this division.
And I think he's the sort of fighter who will learn quite quickly, so I think he'll start to develop a bit more power and realise that he has to just up the pace every now and again. And so that was a good learning fight for him. He'll go on to strength. But I think, again, in Francis's corner, they gave him every opportunity to try and get into the fight. He didn't have it, and I think at the end of the day, they made the right call there, and that's a corner that cares.
They made the perfect call. Respect to James Francis for taking this challenge, and he can always say he boxed at Wembley Stadium. He's a winner in life, he is. Lasha Guruli is one for the future. Unbeaten and looks very, very dangerous, doesn't he? Meanwhile, this Saturday, up the huge Wembley Stadium. But next weekend, we're down on the South Coast. It's a fabulous one. I bumped into him, actually, Ryan Garner, the other day at the service station. He was sparring up in North London, and he'll be returning to fight for the European super featherweight title, defended against Reece Belloni. British and Commonwealth belts on the line, all 3. It's a triple title treat in Bournemouth. And it will be a really good fight, I think, that. Let's make this official. The end of 4 rounds. Guruli looks good, doesn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 seconds of round number 5. The red corner retires their fighter, and our referee in charge, Amy Pugh, accepts their retirement. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Lasha Guruli.
Guruli 2-0. Victorious and looked excellent, didn't he, for those 12 minutes? One to really watch out for in the super lightweight division.
Yeah, really, really good performance from Guruli. He dominated from the opening bell, held the centre of the ring. Lovely jab, as I say, the variation on point, the accuracy was so impressive. As I say, Francis had a nice high guard, but he still managed to find the target as he did with that right uppercut. But Barry, you'd have to say the future looks very bright for Guruli.
Yeah, he does. I think he's got a lot of potential to develop from that. I think he picks his punches really well, economically good. He punches through the target, so he's not showing any signs of real power yet, but I think with his technique and I think his appetite to want to come forward, he'll develop that very quickly. And things you'll learn along the way there, Darren, just injection of pace, the corner making the right call there for Francis. And you know, he tried his best, just wasn't good enough. But this guy, he's won medals in the world, in the Olympics, and the Europeans. He might go far.
You've got to go to work. You're not doing nothing.
You've got to do something. You don't stop. You don't listen. You don't show me something. You're just going to stop. So you want me to stop it, or you to stop it, or the rest don't stop it. You're not doing nothing. And you're building in confidence.
Can't give him space, James.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, brilliant to get inside the corner there, and the dejection really on the face of James Francis. Sad to see, but the absolute right decision. Meanwhile, we saw her last week at ringside, and in a couple of weeks she's back in the ring. The GOAT, Claressa Shields.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist, 5-division world champion, undefeated, the GOAT.
There's no woman in the world that can beat me in a fight.
I'm gonna stop Claressa Shields. I'm only getting stronger and better. I'm gonna make Lonnie quit.
So Claressa Shields defending her undisputed heavyweight titles against Lanny Daniels follows our next Queensbury show as we head to Bournemouth for Peer Pressure. Ryan Garner facing Reece Bellotti. Those fights are next week for you, but here in London, fight night has finally arrived and the countdown is on for undisputed Usyk versus Dubois 2. It really has been quite a path that the two men have trodden over the past few years. Their collision course began in 2019 as Oleksandr Usyk made his heavyweight debut, and Daniel Dubois at the time moved to 14-0, collecting British and Commonwealth honours along the way. In 2020, Usyk beat Derek Chisora. That was here at Wembley Stadium, remember that one? But Dubois' stock plummeted with defeat to Joe Joyce. Then a year later, 2021, Usyk upset Anthony Joshua to claim his first heavyweight world title, and Dubois was getting back to bouncing back with 2 impressive knockout wins. Then spin forward to 2022, Usyk had beaten AJ again, and Dubois' win over Trevor Bryan made him the mandatory challenger to Usyk's WBA belt. Then in August 2023, Usyk faced Dubois for the first time. The Ukrainian got off the canvas to defend his titles with a 9th round stoppage of Daniel Dubois. And by the end of 2024, both men are now just flying. Usyk becomes the first fighter in a generation to claim the undisputed heavyweight crown, defeating Tyson Fury. And Dubois stuns Filip Hrgović, is upgraded to IBF champ, and then sensationally knocks out Anthony Joshua in this very stadium to put the boxing world on notice. And now tonight, they come head-to-head again. Remember, the only way that you can watch tonight's main event is to purchase Undisputed. Go to DAZN.com/boxing to buy that now. Good to have you with us this evening. I'm Kate Scott with the former 2-division world champ Carl Frampton as well. Let's just talk a little bit about that journey that they've been on since. I know we mentioned it earlier, the fact that Dubois, since he last faced Usyk, has had that good run of form, culminating in that knockout win against Anthony Joshua. It's why Daniel Dubois' team keeps saying you're not facing the same Daniel Dubois. In what ways do you think this new version of Daniel Dubois will get tested tonight?
Well, he's definitely going to be tested because Usyk is a superior boxer, not only to Daniel, but to most fighters on the planet. But what Daniel has on his side is punch power. And he's a single shot. He punches a lot harder than Usyk, but it's trying to land that shot and trying to do it against a master fighter like Usyk. But Daniel's going to have to, he'll be asking himself questions tonight, and whether he can answer them or not, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, isn't it? The next fight is coming up for you. It's Adam Hamed against Ezekiel Gregores. That's coming up next. Here's our team at ringside for you. Darren Barker, Barry Jones, and once again, Adam Smith.
Adam Hamed is up next. 28 years to the day after his father, Prince Nassim Hamed, lit up Wembley Arena just across the road when he beat Juan Cabrera. Now, his middle son, Adam, has a chance to shine at the stadium. Let's see how he gets on against Ezekiel Gregores. Back to Thomas.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring, Ezekiel Gregores.
Well, he's coming out as the rain comes back. Unpredictable weather tonight. Do we have an unpredictable main event in store for you? Nice to see him. One Ezekiel Gregores. We know him on the scene. 28th visit to the ring in a 6-year pro career. Began in Spain, but for the last 4 years he's been largely based here in the UK. 31-year-old journeyman. Originally from Argentina, he shared the ring with a host of British prospects. Some, like the very talented Stephen Cairns, he's taken the distance. Others, like the Blackpool hope Thomas Berry, have stopped him, but he's 121 rounds in, and he knows his job. And he gets the umbrella over him as well, Barry, unlike you.
We've seen that a few times over the years, haven't we? With stadium fights. Umbrellas walked in.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Prince Adam Hamed.
It's all a bit surreal, really, for those of us who lived and breathed the career of his dad. It's the next generation. There's the fan zone predicting this man will end up victorious. He's intelligent, charismatic, he's undefeated. It's Adam Nassim Salem Hamed. And it's another grand stage. His early experience around the world. He's already been to Libya. We saw him in Saudi last time. He's fought in Poland. That's where he turned professional on the first Usyk Dubois night. And now fight number 6. And, well, Darren, we welcome him. It's great to have someone in the genes, and we love the familiarity of a Hamed.
Yeah, it definitely brings back some nostalgia. It really does. He looked very good last time out. We was there, the three of us, in Saudi against Jesus Gonzalez. But I've got to say, the fan zone there, Adam, it was a little closer than I would expect when you think Gregores has lost 24 fights, but everyone's got an opinion.
There's a kiss from Sam Jones, Jamie Moore, got a good team around him, Adam Hamed, and we remember him on that bitterly cold night in Saudi, Barry.
Yeah, and let's not forget his debut in Poland, but it rained also. And let's not forget, when I saw Hamed walking in, it rained. It reminded me when Nazi beat Steve Robinson in Cardiff to win his first world title, of course, and a really rainy night.
16,000 there that night, 90,000 predicted tonight. How boxing has evolved.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry with Ready to Fight, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, The Ring Magazine, GG Bet, Snoo, and Global Next Trade. Our timekeeper is Brett Bowles, and when the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Amy Pugh. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue with white and weighed in officially at 145.10 pounds. Coming to us from Mar del Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina, he is a veteran of 27 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ezequiel Gregores. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 144.13 pounds. Fighting out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, by way of Manchester, England. He is undefeated with 5 wins. 3 of his 5 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Prince Adam Hamed.
Boxers, listen to my instructions at all times. Watch your head, no low blows. When I say break, step back. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Touch gloves. Thank you.
Coming up to 2 years as a pro now, and the 6th outing in his 4th country. Adam Hamed continuing his career very much under the spotlight. He calls for these sort of occasions. He looks skillful, fair amount of power, and he's in with his equal, Gregores. Liking the look of young Hamed, Darren?
Yeah, I really am. I like the way he's progressing. Look, he's got a great team behind him. Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis. And they're really helping this man develop, who is, I have to say, learning on the job, but showing a lot of promise. He really is. That for someone that doesn't have any amateur experience, he sets trap. He's always thinking about how he can find the next shot, and that's so important. You can see there good movement, good defense, which is so important. Agile and novice going through the ranks, but Barry, a lot to like.
Yeah, I wrote down in my notes that he's starting to take shape, and I think that's important. You know, I think he's really starting to develop. Again, with the lack of experience he's had, you know, turning pro, you know, pretty much off the cuff. You don't always inherit everything from your father, unfortunately. So you know, he has to learn about things that are not going to go right and not going to go wrong. So it's not about rushing it. He fights like this, where you know he should win, but he's going to learn bits about himself in each fight. These are the fights that he needs to be in now to develop and hopefully become a championship fighter.
He was an exceptional tennis player once upon a time, Adam Hamed, who's being cheered on by his brother Sammy at ringside, alongside Naz right opposite us. How much entertainment he gave us over the years, and Adam wants to carve his own path, and that's the right way to do it. He's really focused. He wants this business. You can't play with boxing.
I'll tell you what, there's some real nice subtle movements. I've already mentioned the footwork, but other than the obvious gliding out range and bringing your feet when he throws his shots, after he's thrown the odd shot, he'll just take a little step to his right or his left. He's looking for further openings, and that's intelligent boxing.
Just stealing that space with the front foot, isn't he? But not getting too close. Make sure that jab's nice and long. That southpaw jab's looking really well here for Hamed.
27 fights for his equal, Gregores. He's known around Britain. He's only been stopped a handful of times.
And that's the big thing you look at, Adam. When you look at a journeyman coming into a contest, you look at how many times they've been stopped, and you understand what kind of journeyman they are. And Gregores, as you said, just stopped 4 times out of 24 fights, so he knows how to survive. So it becomes a challenge in itself now for Hamed.
Lovely jab went in about 15 seconds or so ago from that southpaw stance from Adam Hamed. Of course, Jamie Moore, his exceptional trainer, was a southpaw himself, and that's useful. I like the way he's tucked himself away with Jamie Moore. His dad just sort of looking on, a little bit like Connor and Nigel, letting the team do the work.
It takes a strong character for, it's not to make it all about Naz here, but it makes a strong character to, when you've been so successful and good at your job, to trust other people with your son. And he's sort of done that, and rightly so, because he's with a good team here in Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. But he's boxing well here, but just a little bit more turn into that hand, that left hand there, I think. I think you can push up that back leg a little bit more here, Hamid. He's got the range with the jab now. It's just down to a little more weight in that left hand.
Shoulders, big deep breaths and get it back. Perfect. Okay. 2 or 3 little wild rushes that we knew we would do. Yeah? The only thing you can do better is when he does it, let him do it the first time, the second time, as soon as he does it, step on it, come on, and drop that to him. Yeah? Because your feet are really nice, and when coming on, and as he settles, he thinks nothing's coming back. Yeah? We catch him by surprise. Other than that, perfect. That front hand's beautiful. Yeah.
Words of Jamie Moore in the corner for Adam Hamid, who well, he flowed, didn't he, through that, and there you can see the heavens have opened at Wembley Stadium. It was balmy yesterday, 30 degrees of heat, certainly in that box park for the weigh-in. But we hope for a little bit of late sunshine. I could just see a flicker over there at the other side of the stadium.
Well, it's sunny one side, raining the other side, so I don't know what that's all about.
Where's the rainbow?
There'll be a rainbow above, that'll be great.
What I did like there in the corner, Adam, was Hamid really fixated on the eyes of Jamie Moore, listening to instructions. I can remember, even with my amateur pedigree, boxed loads and loads of times as an amateur. When I turned professional, I fought the big shows. I was a deer in headlights, looking around, seeing where everyone was. So the fact that he's concentrating shows the temperament of the man.
But when you've got a good fighter, from the trainer's perspective, when you don't have to tell him too much in the corner, when he's starting to learn to think for himself. So all the instructions in the corner is to gear him up to take that information and use it in his own little realm, because all these set game plans are no good, because things can happen in a round and a fight that you have to learn to think on your feet. And when you don't have that amateur pedigree, that long-standing amateur pedigree like Darren and myself had, and certainly Carl up in the studio there, then you have to learn on the job.
Frank Warren and Naseem Hamid, they were the team back in the day, and now Frank looking after Naz's son. He's entrusted Adam, and he's a lovely young man, brought up well, Adam Hamid. I sat next to him at the Chisora Volin fight, and he's really mature, and I like his attitude in the game. And I like the way he's going about this job against Ezekiel Gregores, who can make fighters look a little bit novice-y, but Hamid boxing well.
Yeah, look, a massively losing record, Gregores, but I've seen him in the past, as you mentioned some of the names, and he can frustrate you. Never looks like he's going to win a fight, but he can make you miss, and he's a good fighter when it comes to surviving, if you like. But yeah, Hamid, he's staying switched on, working well behind the lead hand. Yeah, looking good.
Turned into that left hand there, Hamid's a lovely shot. And that's got a bit of power in that backhand, and we need to see more of that from him.
Because it was a step as well, Barry, wasn't it?
Yeah, just don't push off that back foot, that's all the difference. You turn off that back foot, then you turn the hips into the shot, and it becomes a real weapon. But I think he's got an opponent here who is just on the end of all his shots. He's not really, his hands are high, but there's nothing coming back. So I think for Hamid, he can be a little more adventurous, I feel now.
This the round that the charismatic Greek based in Britain, Estathos Antonis, stopped Gregores in the second. That was in Liverpool in April.
Maybe that's the secret there. Just change the angle of the shot rather than straight down the line. Start putting the screw shot into play and hook him on the back of the glove.
And what he done as well in that last fight against Jesus Gonzalez, he used the momentum of Gonzalez to walk him onto a lovely right hook. And every now and again you see Gregores does sort of jump forward. There's an opportunity like that to throw that right hook.
I'm sure he'll want to get the knockout, Adam Hamid, but also the rounds of education has been a little inactive at times in the last couple of years, so this is all good.
Shoulders. Get it back. Big deep breath, 10 seconds. Perfect. Execute perfect. Do you see them when you come?
Again here, Hamid just controlling everything. It's all off that southpaw right-hand jab. Once he lands that solid jab there, he puts Gregores in a defensive position, and he's allowed to let his hands go then freely, with a bit more confidence, no jeopardy with anything coming back. So he's boxing well, boxing control. He could up the pace surely. Lots of things he could do better, but I think right now, for his development where he is, it's a really good display so far.
The National Stadium and the rainbow that Darren Barker predicted.
Where's the pot of gold?
So what's your prediction of the main event? Because that came true.
Well, I tell you what, it's an intriguing matchup. It really is, because of the form Dubois is on. But he's in with a master. He really is. Lovely jab again from Hamid to start this round.
Yeah, what a setting to perform on for young Adam.
Nice feint there from Hamid, lovely work. Well, that might open up the defence for him.
He's just accelerated, hasn't he? The pace here. Still eyes etched with concentration as Ezequiel Gregores just looks to cover up on the ropes in front of us. Nice work.
Yeah, that left again, Barry, as you were calling for. A bit more poking it this time.
Yeah, that's just building in confidence, isn't it? As the round goes on, having more success and feeling more comfortable to just hold your feet for that little half a second longer than you were in the earlier round.
Lovely jab, and Barry, you're right, he didn't have a long amateur career. He came to boxing fairly late. He's turned pro, and he's got to learn fight by fight with these different types of journeymen.
He does, but your opponent doesn't care about that. So they don't allow you anything. Oh, he's just learning the trade, so I'll take it easy. I mean, the opponents know about learning fights, but when he comes against a competitive opponent, they're going to want to try and rush him and try and get him out of his rhythm. And it's all, for me, it's all about being able to think on your feet.
Yeah, and you're learning about yourself. When you haven't had the amateur pedigree and you're learning on the job, as you say, you're learning a lot about yourself, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and you want to improve in the areas not so much. And I like a lot of the subtle movement with the feet. Yeah, he seems to just naturally do some very good stuff when he just takes a little step to the right or the left to find the opening. Really, really good.
You can't really compare him to his dad, who was a one-off and boxed largely as a southpaw, but also switched stances. But I tell you what Naz always had was great balance, and I think Adam might have that.
I tell you what, though, I was just thinking about his dad. He's not trying to be his dad. I think that's good. He's not trying to box like his dad. He's not jumping in from... He tried that early in his career, didn't he? He jumped in from outside like Naz would do so well. But he's a different body frame, different experience. Naz has boxed from a child and had that power when he was 9 years of age, so he hasn't got that. But he's boxing, he's being himself, and he's boxing well.
And even personality as well, Adam and Barry. You know, he's not trying to be a flash, cocky individual, is he? He's a nice lad. He's very respectful, and yeah, he's boxing nicely here.
You just called Naz really cocky.
Yeah, 100%.
Write that down.
Work from Hamid again with the combination. Here comes Gregores, just trying to liven up at the end of rounds. There's the experience of the circuit fighter. He'll want to go the distance tonight, the Argentinian, so he can fight next week or the week after. That's how they do business. They don't want to get stopped.
I'd just like to see Hamid throw a 1-2, do a little half step back and then come back with that left hand on the middle. 1-2, little step, and then push up that back leg for the second phase of attack.
All 3 rounds, though, to Adam Hamid. Naz looking impressed. The other side of the ropes from us. And this is a guy that we're all very, very impressed with. Moses Itauma, the undefeated sensation, really. The 20-year-old from Chatham has his big test, or biggest so far, against the man we've known for years, Dillian White, household name, of course, and the headline act of Esports World Cup Fight Week. We're off to Riyadh, August the 16th. It's a busy summer.
It really is, and I love that fight. And this is an intriguing fight as well. Soldaker's looking to bounce back after a big defeat against David Adelaide. He's in tough here, though, with Serenko. 22 wins, 19 by stoppage.
He got a chance, because Serenko's a bit of a plodder at times, and Dacus can be really light on his feet, and he's been criticised for that, but that might work for him in this fight.
You go and tell him he's a bit of a plodder backstage. Adam Hamid cruising to victory here against Ezequiel and Gregores. Heavyweight matchups ahead. Good light heavyweight fight as well. between Daniel Lappin and Louis Edmondson. That's one to really look forward to later on. And of course, all building up to Usyk Dubois 2, the stadium beginning to fill up. Wembley Way packed all day. Boxfest was lively, and everyone looking forward to a fabulous night for British sport. Adam Hammett boxing really nicely behind the jab. He's keeping his cool. It's a mature display.
And he's trying to change the angles with the shots here now. Just see the screw shot with the right hand there, with the lead hand, and just throwing the hook around the side. That's good, that is. Now just break the defence open and then allow you to throw the punches down the line there, Dan.
Yeah, and fair play to Gregores. He's having a go here, but that might suit Hammett. Might create further openings when he overcommits, falls over the front foot, as he does there. There's an opportunity for Hammett to land that right hook.
And all that is when you retreat, rather than come back high, you just come back a little bit low. That makes you bend that back leg and allows you, and almost invites you and force you to push back off it.
That just showing some inexperience there, Adam. You just see him putting his head low, Hammett. I think the more that opponents come to him and let their hands go, sparring's going to be so important for Hammett in his development.
Well, he's in a cracking stable, and one of his colleagues is behind us commentating for TalkSport tonight. Dave Allen, who had that huge win over Johnny Fisher. Pat Brown rolling as well. Jamie Moore's stable is red hot, and he's going to learn a lot there.
He has got so many different styles there, so you learn good shot.
Yeah, just troubled Gregores minutes ago. Uppercut was lovely, wasn't it? And again, side to side, the Argentinian says, come on then. Can Hammett finish in style?
Well, Gregores showing his toughness there, but there's a lovely little variety of the work there from Hammett.
I'll tell you what though, Hammett, I will say, as good as he's been up until this round, he's lost his shape a little bit in this final round. Defensively, he's sort of been a bit wary of the shots coming his way, and he's put his head down a couple of times, so more work required defensively, I think.
That's just concentration on that. He sees the last round, he had so much his own way. He's probably trying to finish strong and a bit flashy a little bit, maybe.
I think he needs some momentum as well. That was a long time ago we saw him in Riyadh. This is a 4-rounder. I think we want to see him active, don't we? September, maybe November, December. A couple more fights this year.
Yeah, early in your career, it's very important to be as active as you can, fighting all these journeymen, getting experience, doing the rounds, different styles, and then that accelerates you closer to some sort of area title if you're going to be good enough to get to that level.
Family Hammett clapping at ringside. They'll be impressed with those 4 rounds. Busy night for Frank Warren, with his hope Daniel Dubois aiming to become undisputed heavyweight champion. Frank, who stuck by Daniel through all the ups and downs. 88% believe Adam Hammett won that on fans, so I don't quite understand that, Aaron.
Yeah. 12%, I'm not too sure where that comes from. Look, Gregores had a go in that last round. He lost his shape, as we say. At times, Hammett, there was some good flurries of shots, though. The left hand, he started to really rotate a little bit more. Big smile on the face of Gregores. As you say, he'll probably be out next weekend, mate.
He just wanted to hear the final bell. Queensbury have a good prospect in Adam Hammett. They've got a good build next week in Bournemouth. And also, in August, they have more action too. It's make or break. Altrincham Ice Dome. British and Commonwealth Super Lightweight Champion Jack Rafferty putting his titles on the line against the man who was Turki Al-Sheikh's favourite a while ago, Portsmouth's Mark Chamberlain. Really good domestic dust up there. Saturday the 23rd of August. Another Queensbury show. Let's get it official. I think the fan zone could say 100%. Adam Hammett has won every round.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Amy Pugh, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, Prince Adam Hammett.
6th fight and 6th victory for Adam Hammett. He has to go the distance against his equal, Gregores. Half by knockout, you can see now. Great team around him. and he's got a great future. Good performance, solid, not spectacular tonight. What do we like about him tonight, Barry?
I thought he boxed really well. He controlled everything with the jab to start off. Didn't rush his work. Boxed well, dominated, took the centre ring, dominated the space, controlled everything that happened pretty much, like he should at this level. And it's about going through the rounds, managing the rounds, because he's going to step into 6 rounds in a minute, and it's going to be a little more difficult. But this was a really good contest for him against a real tough opponent who didn't come with loads of ambition, but was physically tough. Takes a good shot, Darren, and really he picked his shots really well, and target practice.
I think the positives for me there is his confidence, his footwork very good. I like to see him tidy up a bit defensively, but yeah, as you say, he's got the name, he's got the team around him, so yeah, activity important.
Adam Hamad, victorious as his brother Sammy, and Dad Naz will be pleased with another victory. 2 fights down, 4 to go on this huge night for British sport, live on DAZN.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on DAZN every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts. With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. DAZN, undisputed.
Well, the big fights keep on coming here on DAZN. Looking ahead, there is more action from Riyadh on August 16th to see the future of the heavyweight division. Moses Itauma taking on fellow Brit Dillian White. And on November 22nd, it is time for the Ring 4 event. It's a star-studded card featuring David Benavidez against Anthony Yard and Devin Haney against Brian Norman Jr. 2 fascinating fights. Coming up after the break, we're going to bring you the first heavyweight contest of the night. Solomon Dakers is looking to bounce back from his first professional loss against David Adelaide last time out, but he is not coming back with an easy touch. Dakers will face the undefeated Ukrainian Vladislav Serenko, who comes in on late notice and hopes to show that he can make some noise in this heavyweight division. Reminder for you guys that this is the end of our free-to-air broadcast. The only way to watch undisputed Usyk versus Dubois 2 is by purchasing this event at DAZN.com/boxing. This is for all the glory in the biggest division in boxing. You do not want to miss it.